Hey guys, welcome to Digit, and in this particular video we're going to be unboxing the AMD Ryzen 2nd generation 2700X. Now this is the Ryzen 7 processor, which means sort of the top of the line segmentation in the desktop range, which is indicated by this little 7 on the bottom. And on the top you have the processor number. You can see that this is an 8-core 16-thread processor. This is the second best processor in the Zen Plus range, or the second generation AMD Ryzen processor range. And it has a 4.1 gigahertz max boost and a base clock of 3.2 gigahertz. Whereas memory support, these things can do about 22933 megahertz FSB if you're using single rank memory on dual channel configuration. Coming back to the box, on the side we have a small window through which you can see the processor. This is a nice way of figuring out you're getting what you're paying for. And we flip it around. This way we can see what all the box comes with. It says you get the processor, installation instructions, warranty information, as well as a thermal solution designed for use in a desktop PC. Now that thermal solution varies from box to box, or rather SKU to SKU, and in this one we are getting an RGB enabled Wraith Spire cooler. We can take a closer look at this in a while. So let's go ahead with the unboxing. You can find the processor on the left hand side. This is the Ryzen 7 2700, as obviously been stated ago. On the top you also have a little sticker which you can stick onto your motherboard or your chassis or whatever you want to, in order to show it off as a badge of honor. Ideally you shouldn't be sticking it onto your motherboard. Then you have the thermal cooling solution. There's absolutely nothing else inside the box. Now here's the cooler that you'll be using for an AM4 socket. Now all these Ryzen processors use the AM4 socket that has been around for a little while. The construction is kinda fairly simple. On the top you have the cooler itself with the fan. On the bottom you have an aluminum fin stack, and the base plate is actually copper. So what's making contact with your processor is a copper base plate with no heat pipes in this particular configuration. You get a 4-pin fan header to connect it to your motherboard. And on the underside of the fan packaging you can find yet another cable. This one is basically an RGB connector which goes into your motherboard. This end goes into your motherboard, whereas this one goes into this particular socket on your cooler. And in this small box you can find the processor along with the Ryzen 7 sticker. You can attach the sticker onto your chassis or your monitor or whatever you want to, in order to show it off as a badge of honor. Now AMD's processor use pins at the bottom. This arrangement is called a PGA socket, pin grid array. Intel uses the LAN grid array, which has the pins on the motherboard, and there's nothing on the bottom of the processor aside from gold contacts. Now let's place this back. That's it for this particular unboxing.